So Glenn Beck spoke about how Donald Trump is the last male role model for young boys. This is interesting. Take a look.
You know, masculinity is supposed to be a bad thing now. It's a toxic thing. It's terrible, and we're being told that all the time. Mm. So,
I think this is why Donald Trump is so successful, and why he has connected with so many people. Mm-hmm. Think how many. I mean, there are no examples of men being men. Okay, mm-hmm. James Bond. That's it. A movie. Okay, there's no male role models. Would you agree with that?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so Donald Trump, here's a guy who marries a supermodel.
Right.
Is like, yeah, I can make it with any model I want. He's over the top, but he fights back. He doesn't flinch.
He doesn't take any garbage from anybody.
He is the almost cartoon of an alpha dog.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think because we have taken alpha dogs and shot them all, when he comes to the table, there's a lot of guys who are out there going, yeah, damn right.
That's why he was elected, isn't it?
Right. And a lot of young guys that are looking at him almost as a father figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's
a huge part of his appeal. It is absolutely happening.
All right, so let's break that down. That is 75% ridiculous and dead wrong, and 25% correct. So let's start with the correct point. The correct point is Trump fights like crazy. He fights on everything. He will never take anything laying down, even if his opposition is 100% correct and he's 100% wrong. He's like, don't care. Fake news. Wrong. He doesn't let the facts get in his way. He doesn't let anything get in his way. He's a bulldozer. And this guy politically is as tough as it gets, because he's always lambasting his critics nonstop, and he never shoots himself in the foot. He always counterpunches. Always. So no matter the thing that works about that in today's political environment is that our media is so shitty, and you have a giant propaganda arm with Fox News for him, that everything becomes debatable because he just made it debatable. Everything. So I'll just give one example. Remember when it was a story that broke during the campaign where he was basically pretending in like the 1980s and early 1990s, he was calling these tabloid magazines pretending he was his own publicist. He said, my name's John Miller. And then he would say stuff to them like, oh, these ladies want Trump. It's tremendous how many of the ladies want Trump. He turned down Madonna the other day. He would give these insane stories about how all these supermodels want to fuck him and yada yada. And then the dumbass tabloids would write it up and run the stories. But meanwhile, you listen to the tapes, and they are on tape, many of the calls, and it's Donald Trump pretending he's Donald Trump sucking himself off, pretending like he's not Donald Trump. But then when that story broke it on the campaign trail, he was like, wrong. That's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. Wrong. Untrue. Fake news. And he just stuck to it. And then after like 2 days, the story was gone. And even though a lot of people who already don't like Trump were like, that was obviously him, he made it debatable enough where people on the other side were like, I don't know, he's really vehement in denying it, so maybe it's just a dude who sounds like him. Which is crazy. It was definitely him. But still, he fought and then made it debatable. And one of the things is, on the Democratic side, they never do that. Perfect example is what's happening to poor Ilhan Omar today. So Ilhan Omar, she tweeted, it's all about the Benjamins, talking about AIPAC and how the Israel lobby controls many politicians. And immediately she was smeared as an anti-Semite. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about AIPAC and money in politics. They're like, no, we don't care. You're an anti-Semite. And then she did a BS apology where I think she knows she did nothing wrong, but she was playing the game. And then now recently they just misinterpreted statements from her again where they're pretending like she was saying Jews have dual loyalty. Never said that. Never said that. What she was talking about, again, was the influence of money in politics. And by the way, when you have a bill that's an anti-BDS bill, which says we're going to literally take away free speech rights of Americans to cater to a foreign nation, whoever's proposing that bill, Jew or non-Jew, what do you want me to call that? That is dual allegiance. You are saying, I'm going to put Israel ahead of the free speech rights of Americans, and that's not me speaking. That's 2 U.S. courts who already ruled on this speaking, saying it is unconstitutional. So Ilhan Omar points it out, and then, oh my God, everybody else, oh my God, she's such an anti-Semite. Every fucking Democrat at first throwing her under the bus. You even have, like, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, like, trying to, like, hypocrisy burn the Republicans and saying, well, you guys have a lot of anti-Semites, so how come there's a double standard for Ilhan? No, you don't frame it like that, because she's not an anti-Semite. Defend her on the merits. Don't try to do, like, a hypocrisy take, because then you're agreeing that Ilhan's an anti-Semite. She's not. So in other words, the Democrats lay down, and now the new word is they're now crafting a resolution to try to, say, oh, tut, Ilhan, you're an anti-Semite, and what you're doing is bad, and they're trying to craft a resolution to, like, condemn her, but now they're watering it down and just saying, well, what if we made a resolution, since the base is angry at the Democrats for caving and throwing Ilhan under the bus, now the Democrats are scrambling, and they're like, oh, let's say we're against all hate. We're against Islamophobia, we're against anti-Semitism, we're against Hindu-phobia, and we think hate is bad. Oh, do you? Are you guys against bad things and for good things? Are you totally wasting your time on garbage like this because you don't know how to fight and because you're a bunch of fucking political idiots and newbies? I hate them. I hate them so much. They're so dumb. Bottom line is, as dumb as Trump is, that's one thing he gets. Oh, you're going to come after me? No, I'm coming after you. So that's the 25% that is right about Trump. Now, where are they wrong? The idea that he's like the last man, he's a manly man, he's an alpha man, he's a male role model. If you look at Donald Trump and he's your idea of a man, you're pathetic. Because when I look at Trump, you know what he is to me? Here's what he is. He's a spoiled brat teenager who was never told no. That's what he is. He's a guy who is, from the age of 3, for his entire life, he was getting an allowance of $200,000 a year. That's insanity! So he is the epitome not of an alpha male, he's the epitome of a spoiled brat teen who never grew up. And the most important point is this. When you talk about the stereotypical idea of what's a man, what constitutes a man, probably one of the top things on the list is a man stands up, looks his responsibilities in the face, and takes care of them. That's the genuine, old-school, stereotypical idea of what a man is. Like, oh, he confronts his problems head-on, and he takes responsibility for it. Donald Trump is the polar opposite of that. He doesn't take responsibility for anything. Anything at all. So the idea that he's like a manly man and he's the last male role model, I would argue his characteristics are the opposite. He's a spoiled brat teenager who never grew up. And he never accepts responsibility for his actions, so that's the opposite of a man. That's a boy. So, that's my breakdown of this, but there you go. I think that Glenn Beck is touching on something that a lot of people do believe here, which is why it's important to discuss it. I think there are a lot of people on the far right who do look at Trump like that, but ultimately it's a ridiculous argument. Even though he's right on the fighting point and how that helps Trump, I think he's wrong about everything else.